Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about my perfume wish list. So I have been requested to do this video a couple of times by the same person, so I wanted to make sure that I actually got it done in a timely manner this time. So I'm actually going to do two of these. I'm going to do one video for designer fragrances that are on my wish list, and then a separate video for niche fragrances because I have so many, and these of course are not all of the fragrances on my wish list. These are ones that are pretty high at the top. So I definitely will leave fragrances out. Yeah, just know this definitely isn't everything. These are just ones that I'm really they're pretty high up on my list. So anyways, let's jump right in and talk about designer fragrances that are on my wish list. I will pop a picture up of each fragrance, since sadly I don't have them here in front of me. So the first one, and one that I look for literally every single day, is Miss Dior the 2012 formulation. I really wish that I would have gotten on this one a long time ago. It's not easy to tell the difference between the 2017 formulation and the 2012, except for I think the liquid is a little bit later in the 2012 formulation. So I will be having to ask people for batch codes so that I can see when it was manufactured before I purchase things, which it can just be kind of tedious. But anyways, yeah, that one is like very, very high up on my list. I love the 2012 formulation. So I really, really need to get a bottle in my collection. In fact, it's the only formulation that I don't have in my collection, I believe. That is the first one. And sticking with Dior, there are a whole bunch of Diors that I want. Dior Hypnotic Poison, the Eau de Parfum formulation, that's been high up on my wish list for a really, really long time. I don't know why I haven't purchased it yet. It's kind of silly. As well as Dior Dune, I really want, and that one, I don't necessarily need a full bottle. I would just love to find a decant of the vintage formulation just to have in my collection. It's just a beautiful fragrance. I haven't smelled it in a really, really long time, but I know it's I remember it being a really beautiful kind of vintage style fragrance. So yeah, that's one that I need to hunt down at some point. And then I think the last Dior that I really, really want to get my hands on is Dior Intense. I don't care which formulation. It could be the new formulation, the old formulation. I'd be happy with either. I just really want a bottle of Intense. It's a gorgeous kind of powdery, I can't remember what it is. If it's not heliotrope, I don't think. I think there's some lavender in it. I got a decant from the Fragrance Decant Boutique, and I have been obsessed ever since I got the decant, which, by the way, if you guys are ever looking for decants, I have purchased from the Fragrance Decant Boutique, and I can wholeheartedly recommend them to you. They're wonderful for buying decants from, and they do carry quite a few obscure fragrances that you just don't see everywhere. But anyways, not sponsored, not paid to say that. I just wanted to, a lot of people ask me all the time, where's a good place to pick up decants and things, and that's just a place that I really like and trust. Okay, let's move on to some Lancome fragrances. So there are a couple that I want from the Maison line that have been discontinued. I really, really want to get my hands on a bottle of Lavandes Trianon. That is a fragrance that has been on my wish list for years at this point now, and it's getting really difficult to find, so I really need to bite the bullet and get a bottle of that. The other one from the Maison line that I really want is, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm quite sure, Figues and Agrumes, or Fig and Agrume, the Fig one. I really want to get my hands on a bottle of that one as well. And then it's funny because Lancome fragrances usually don't work for me. However, the Maison line really does work for me. I've not met a Lancome from the Maison line that I haven't liked yet. But the only Lancome fragrance that I want from their like normal line, or I guess they're just, yeah, their normal line, is Lancome Idole Aura. So I really want a bottle of that. That one I've smelled and I can't remember. I just remember that when I smelled it, I really loved it and I really wanted a bottle. It's got some kind of a salty note in it, which usually I don't love salty notes, but there was something about that fragrance that I really, really loved. And so yeah, I've been wanting a bottle ever since. Okay, and then from here, it kind of goes and it's all over the place. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to this, so I'm gonna be hopping around to different fragrances. So another fragrance that I really, really want is a bottle of just Halston Woman. I love my Halston Woman Amber, and I've been wanting to pick up a bottle of just the original Halston Woman. I do know it's like a vintage style fragrance. It's gonna be, I just have a feeling that I'm gonna love it. And yeah, I've just been really wanting that one in my collection for a while. Another fragrance that I really, really want to get my hands on is Lush Confetti. That is one that has been discontinued, so I need to like get on it and pick up a bottle. I do have my eye on a couple of bottles on Mercari right now, and I need to just go ahead and pull the trigger. Another one that I really want is Valentino the Hot Pink, or I think it's called Valentina Hot Pink, the one with the really beautiful flower on the front in the hot pink bottle. On my last live, I think it was my last live, I was talking about wanting some more strawberry perfumes in my collection, and a lot of people mentioned that fragrance and said that it was a really, really beautiful one. So I really want to get a bottle of that as well. I believe it has also been discontinued. I think that whole Valentina line has been discontinued, so I wouldn't mind really grabbing any of those since they have been discontinued. Okay, another one that I really want is a Nicki Minaj fragrance. I really want Nicki Minaj Majesty. I knew I'm going to say that wrong. Majesty, I think is how you say it. I really, really want that fragrance, and really any Nicki Minaj fragrance out there that I don't have, I want, because I really like the bottles. I think they're cute. I know that that's like, people either really love those or really hate them. I happen to really like those bottles. Some people think they're super, super tacky. But yeah, I do enjoy the bottles, and I really enjoy the fragrances. And Nicki Minaj fragrances perform really, really well for me. So yeah, I want to get as many as she's got available that are out there. They're really, really affordable too, so there's really no excuse for me not to have picked them up yet. Okay, there's a couple Lolita Lempicka fragrances that I want. I really, really want Lolita Lempicka Sweet, but I want the one in the old round bottle. I don't want the one in that new kind of jagged edge bottle. I don't know if it's been reformulated, but usually when they repackage, they do reformulate. So yeah, I'm really like keeping my eye out for a bottle of the original. I guess it would be the original formulation. I also want Lolita Lempicka Elles. So I have a roller ball of Elles, but I don't have the actual bottle, and I really do want a bottle of that. It really does smell like Xerjoff Lira. And yeah, I would love to have an actual bottle of it. Balenciaga Florabotanica as well as Rosabotanica. I've got a mini of Florabotanica, and I love it. It is the most beautiful kind of green, light, fresh green rose fragrance. And then I was sent over a decant of the Rosabotanica, which is also stunning. They're just both beautiful fragrances. I really want full bottles of both in my collection. Okay, this next one, I don't know how to say it, but this was one that was recommended to me, and it went straight on my wish list. It's not easy to find though. You can find it on eBay, but I think it has to be shipped from the Middle East. So I've just been kind of, I've been a little bit nervous because of that, because it's coming so far. It's like, is it actually going to make it? Our mail here in the US isn't even making it. A lot of times I've lost 2 bottles of perfume from UPS in like the last month. So I just don't have a lot of faith that it'll make it all the way from the Middle East to here. It's called Dahaab Saafi. I think that's how you say it. Dahaab Saafi from Afnan. I wish that I could find a bottle here in the States. I forget what the person even told me that it smelled like, but I just remember her saying that it was like a really beautiful, sweet fragrance. So this one will be no surprise to anybody. I really want to get my hands on a bottle of Givenchy Organza Indecence. To me, it is the most beautiful, like creamy cinnamon fragrance. I do have another fragrance that smells somewhat like it, or it does actually smell quite a bit like it, but it's still not it. So I really want to get my hands on a bottle of Organza Indecence. Another one, this one is kind of a unicorn at this point. It's very difficult to find, is Zara Sense of Glam. So I remember hearing, this has been like years ago now, that Zara Sense of Glam is smells similar to Frederic Malle Lipstick Rose, which I adore Lipstick Rose so much, that I really want to get my hands on a bottle of Sense of Glam from Zara. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I do keep my eye out for it. It is one that I would love to have. I really want like the entire line. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are a lot from Juliette Has a Gun that I want. I really want Lipstick Fever. I really want the new Lily one. I really want MMM. I really want that one. I really want the musk one. Like there's so many Juliette Has a Gun fragrances that I want, but I think those 4 are the ones that I want the most. Okay, this next one is also a unicorn. This one, if I ever find a bottle of this, I will be so happy. It's from Mugler and it's a version of Womanity. It's called Womanity pour Elles. And I've had a few people mention it to me, and I've of course gone to look it up, and it looks amazing. So I really want to get my hands on a bottle, but it is very, very difficult to find. And when you do find it, it is very, very expensive. So it's one of those situations where I'm hoping one of these days I'll just run across a bottle of it like I did Midnight Poison, where I ran across a bottle that somebody just really didn't want anymore and sold and let it go for a really good price. I'm hoping that somehow, but I have a feeling not, just because it's like a pretty obscure fragrance. Like not a lot of people even know that it exists. So yeah. Oh, I want it so bad though. Okay, there's a couple fragrances. Actually, I would love to have the entire line of these fragrances. They're so beautiful. I've got a couple samples in my collection. Yeah, and I need to get some full bottles, but they are from a line called Les Senteurs Gourmandes. One of the ones that I really, really want is called Cafe Tonka. It just looks beautiful. They also have another one called Rose Sublime that I would love to have in my collection. They are known for doing like the most beautiful vanillas and just like gourmand fragrances. Yeah, I would love to have everything that they make, but those are 2 that I really, really want. Okay, this next one, I don't know how to say this either. Naima Layla. Now this is a fragrance that I just want to get my nose on it. I wouldn't even care if I could get a full bottle of it, but this is another one that you can it's going to come from the Middle East. There are online shops that you can order it and they will send it to you. But again, I'm like, I don't know. I just have this fear that it's not going to make it all the way from the Middle East to me. So I'm really, really like hesitant to order it. But allegedly, this is the perfume that Huda, from like, as in Huda Beauty, like that Huda wears. And so, and I don't know why I can't remember her name, but anyways, Huda Beauty, she wears this fragrance called Layla. It's supposed to be absolutely stunning. It sounds amazing. I would love to just get my nose on it so that I would have, just so that I would know what she smells like. I just think that would be, super interesting. Okay, another one that I really, really want is Moschino I Love Love. That is a fragrance that I wore back in like, I don't know, 2004 maybe, and I wore it for like a year. So it was kind of a signature, but it was one of those where I didn't like wear it every single day. And it was during this time that I fell into the rabbit hole of perfume on eBay and decants and things. So I was just like, I don't know, buying so many decants back then of Creed fragrances, of Jo Malone fragrances. I fell down the rabbit hole of decants on eBay during that time. So I was constantly like testing other things, and I wasn't wearing I Love Love like every single day, but I do love that fragrance and I want it back in my life. So at some point, even if it's just a little mini of it, at some point I'm gonna pick that one up. Another one that is another kind of unicorn that it's just always on my wish list. I keep my eye out for it, but I'm not like holding out hope that I'm ever gonna get it, is Stella Sheer. It's a version of Stella that came out. I adore it, but it is, again, really, really hard to find. And basically, I think it's just supposed to be a much later version of Stella, which I have the EDT too, so I probably don't need it, but I think I just want it. So Lanvin has a flanker of Jeanne Lanvin, and I think it's called Jeanne Lanvin Scandal. I want to get my nose on it just because I love Jeanne Lanvin so much. I have a feeling though that I'm not gonna like it as much as the original. I feel like the same thing is going to happen with it that did with Modern Princess for me, which is I love Modern Princess so much, and then I bought Modern Princess Sensuelle thinking that I was going to love it, and I hated it. So I'm scared that the same thing is going to happen with Jeanne Lanvin Scandal, but I still want to get my nose on it regardless. So somebody just sent me a bottle of Zara Wanted Girl, and I am like in love with it. I fell head over heels in love with that fragrance. So now I want to explore the flankers, and the one that I really want to get first is, well, there's a couple, but Wanted Girl, I think it's called Wanted Girl by Night, I think. But the nighttime version of it, I really want. And then there's another one that somebody just told me they found at TJ Maxx, and it was really, really beautiful. I'll, of course, pop the pictures and the names up on the screen for you. But I really, really want both of those. I would be happy to get my nose. And these are ones that really with everything on this list, except for some of the unicorns, I would want full bottles of, but a lot of these, I just want to get my nose on them. So I'd be happy with like a good decant, but it's, they're hard to find. But anyways, yeah, I would love to get my nose on the entire Wanted Girl line from Zara. Another fragrance, I've been wanting this one since I think since it came out, because I saw that it has a cactus note in it, and that is Coach Dreams. So that one's getting really, really mixed reviews. In fact, it's getting more negative feedback than it is positive. So I'm guessing it's something that smells pretty darn generic, but I still want to get my nose on it because I want to see if I can detect the cactus note in it. Kind of like I think it's Louis Vuitton has a fragrance called Cactus Garden, if I remember correctly. I think it is Louis Vuitton. And it's beautiful because you can really smell that cactus in it. And I don't know, I have hopes that I'll be able to smell the cactus in Coach Dreams, even though I probably won't be able to, but I still want to get my nose on it. Okay, I could have an entire video just on my Dior wish list. There are so many fragrances from Dior that I want, and let me know if you guys want a video of that. I can do a whole video on just my Dior wish list. But one of the ones that I really, really want that I keep my eye out for is Princeless Princess. It is a clone of Killian Princess, and I love it. I've got a spray pen of Killian Princess, and I love it. So I would love to have a bottle of the Dior version, which probably lasts longer, I would imagine. But I would love it just because I want to test the two side by side. I want to see how good of a clone it is. And yeah, if it lasts longer than Princess, which Princess is not bad. It doesn't perform terribly on me or anything, but I would just love a full bottle of the Dior. So let me know if you guys want a whole video of just my Dior wish list. Okay, another one that I want is Armani C Intense. I felt like Armani already came out with a C Intense, but it seems like there's a new one out. I'm not sure. But anyways, I came across a spray pen of it on Sephora's website, and I put it on my favorites list for some reason. I'm thinking that I thought it was new. You guys will have to let me know. The C line of fragrances is not my favorite, so I haven't kept up at all with what's going on with it. I have the one that has my heart, which is C La Parfum, which has been discontinued, and so I haven't really kept up with the line. So you guys let me know. I feel like a new Armani C Intense came out. And I feel like I added it to my wish list because I thought that it was a new one. But I want to get my nose on it, especially if it is a new one. I think I have smelled, well, I don't know. I feel like there was one in a black bottle that was the Intense, but I feel like there's a new one too. I don't know. You guys, I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me. Another Intense fragrance that I want is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. That is one that a perfume friend sent me a decant of it, I think like 2 years ago now, like so long ago. And I've been meaning to pick up a bottle of it ever since. It's a really, really beautiful version of Dolce & Gabbana. It really is intense too, and it lasts a whole lot longer. So yeah, I really want a bottle of it. Another fragrance that I really, really want, and I don't know why I haven't bought it yet, is Chloe Rose Tangerine. I love Chloe fragrances. They are some of my favorites. So I really, really need to get a bottle Chloe Rose Tangerine in my collection. Okay, there are a couple fragrances. They're new to Ulta, or I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm quite sure that these are pretty new to Ulta. They are by a brand called Bee Bungalow, and they're like beachy kind of fragrances. The first one is called Bali Beach Night. I really want these. They're like $68 too, so they're not super expensive. I really, really want to get my nose on them. And the second one that I really want is called Polynesian Pink Sugar. I feel like I have to have these fragrances. I think that they're new to Ulta. I haven't seen them before, and as soon as I did see them, I added them to my favorites list straight away. So those are two fragrances that I will probably be picking up this summer for sure. The only reason I haven't bought them yet is because it's like the dead of the winter and I'm not in the mood for those kinds of fragrances yet. But as soon as spring gets here, I'm going to be in the mood for those, and I will definitely be picking those up. Another Dior fragrance, I should have talked about this earlier with my Dior fragrances, but I didn't think about it until later, is Dior J'adore. I think it's Infinissime. Infinissime, you guys. I'm so sorry. Like, I am the worst with pronunciation. I think it's a newer version of J'adore. It looks, just by the color of the liquid, it looks richer and like a more, I don't know, it just looks like a more syrupy version of J'adore. And so I really, really want to get my nose on it. Another one is Elles Brooklyn Raven. So I went through a discovery kit with you guys in a video, an Elles Brooklyn discovery kit in a video. It's been probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 months ago or something. I don't know. It's been a while ago. But Raven was like my love. That was the one that I absolutely wanted a full bottle of. It's just a beauty. It's like, I don't know, it's sweet. I think it's got praline in it, if I remember. It was just a beautiful fragrance. So I really, really want a full bottle of that. There's another fragrance that I saw on Sephora's website. I don't know if it's new or not, but it's a fragrance from Nest, and it's actually an oil roller ball, and it's just called Madagascar Vanilla. That one's been sitting on my Sephora Loves list for a little while now, and I really, really want to pick it up. It's not super expensive either, but I've just never heard anybody talk about it, so it's one of those things where I'm just kind of nervous to pick it up, but I think eventually I will. Another one from Sephora is Skylar Vanilla, but the Eau de Parfum formulation. I bought a bottle secondhand of the Edie tea formulation off of Mercari. I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful, warm, cozy vanilla that has, it's like either a cappuccino note or an espresso note. It's some kind of a beautiful coffee note, so it's like vanilla and coffee. I do have a Scentbird decant of the Edie P formulation. I just would love to have a full bottle of it. I love those fragrances. They're really beautiful. I'm such a vanilla addict that anything that's vanilla, I just want it in my collection. And last but not least, for designer fragrances that I really want is Comptoir Sud Pacifique, the vanilla banana fragrance that they have. I think it's called Vanille Banane. I want it. I want it so bad, and it's so affordable. The only reason why I haven't picked it up yet is because I've heard that it's a really, really terrible performing fragrance. So it's like, ugh, even though it's not that expensive, it's like, but I could spend that money on like another fragrance that is going to perform really well. So yeah, but it is one that I would still, even if I could just get a decant of it, which I might check some decant sites to see if maybe I can just get a decant of it first. That's what I need to do instead of looking for a full bottle. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end that here because I could go on and on for a year with my perfume wish list. So I'm going to end the designer part here. I will post my niche want list very, very soon. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.